Housed in the original Homestead, Florida East Coast Railway Station Master's house, Florida Pioneer Museum has artifacts of South Miami-Dade County and gives a glimpse of the pioneer and early rail days of Florida City and Homestead.
The most important role in this of this museum is to tell people that yes, this community goes back to early as 1895 or maybe even 1890. Eking out a living in the Rocklands. But this area has a long history. But history gets burned up, flooded out, lost, and pretty soon nobody knows anything.
Today, you just don't realize with all the modern conveniences just what people really put up with back in those days.
This was the last place in the country that was settled, and for good reason, because it was wet, mosquitoes were like horrible, and the land was pretty much rock rather than soil.
And they came in and they had to walk in, they had to carry everything they brought in on their back. Everybody you had to look out for yourself back then. And
pioneers came down, say at the beginning of the last century. They were really tough.
This house was built in 1904 up in Homestead by the Florida East Coast Railway. And these were the first houses built in Homestead. So this technically is the first house that was built in Homestead.
This was luxury living. I mean, the size, the coolness of it, the sturdiness of it. People were living in tents, they were living in lean-tos. It was not uncommon to live in a tent or a lean-to until you could build your log cabin or build the house you were going to build.
Well, I think the number one benefit is that the museum is not so much as an artifact or a relic, but it's a teaching museum where you see a lot of multi-generational families come in, and the senior members of the family enjoy talking to the younger members of the family and saying, oh, we used to have one of these, or I used to work with one of these, or and I think that's really one of the best benefits, is that it's a living museum of items that in a lot of cases you can actually pick up the artifact. In a lot of museums it's like hands off, don't touch, no pictures, don't go near that, it's behind a case. But a lot of the stuff that we have here you can actually pick up, touch, hold, look at, and demonstrate on how the tool works or how the kitchen utensil works.
Hours are most Saturdays and Wednesdays between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. Admission is free. Drop by the Florida Pioneer Museum to arrange group or school visits or to get information on becoming a member and volunteering.